The message arrived while everyone was laughing. My wife's hand was on my arm. Her father's voice boomed across the table. Crystal glasses rang. Silverware whispered against porcelain. A perfect family scene. Then my phone vibrated. Once. I didn't look at it right away. I already knew what it would be. Truth always waits for the worst possible moment to introduce itself. Another vibration. I excused myself without a word and stepped onto the balcony. Cold air, city lights, my reflection in the glass, still calm, still obedient, still invisible. I opened the file. A ledger. Offshore accounts. Wire transfers looping through shell companies I had personally helped structure. But the final line was new. Majority ownership transferred. My name was gone. Replaced with his. My wife's father. The old man who loved calling me son in public and useless when he thought no one important was listening. Inside, laughter spiked. A joke landed well. I leaned on the railing and felt something quiet die inside my chest. Not pain. Certainty. The numbers kept scrolling. Assets I had rescued. Loans I had restructured. A company built on my strategies and bled dry by his greed. And my wife, her signature sat on 3 of the authorization forms. Perfect, delicate, familiar. The city swayed below me. Inside, applause broke out. I closed the file, and I smiled. I didn't confront anyone. Confronting is for people still hoping to be wrong. Over the next 7 days, I watched. My wife began humming while she dressed, a new softness in her voice when she took calls in the other room. Her father visited more often, lingering too long, inspecting me like an object he had already thrown away. At dinner, the old man leaned back in his chair and laughed. "You know," he said loudly, swirling his wine, "some men are born to lead. Some are born to be supported." Eyes shifted toward me. My wife didn't look at me at all. I chewed slowly, swallowed. Inside, I rebuilt the moment frame by frame. Her late nights. The sudden upgrades to her lifestyle he'd supposedly financed. The way conversations stopped when I entered rooms. They weren't just betraying me emotionally, they were harvesting me, using my mind, drinking the returns, and preparing to discard the body. At night, beside her sleeping form, I replayed every financial discussion we had ever had. Every casual question about asset placement. Every time she'd played ignorant about business. Except she hadn't been ignorant at all. She'd been strategic. Just not strategic enough. The realization didn't shatter me. It clarified me. I stopped touching her. She didn't notice. I became a ghost in my own life. Externally, the same polite husband, the same deferential son-in-law. I nodded on cue, smiled on schedule. Let their insults slide off me like water off glass. Internally, I audited a murder. Every transfer, every shell, every falsified valuation. I followed the money trails backward and forward until the entire structure lay naked in my mind, trembling. At work, I stayed late. Not to help them, to sever them. One signature at a time. One silent withdrawal at a time. I rerouted future projections away from holding companies he controlled. I pulled guarantees. I froze credit lines under compliance reviews only I knew how to trigger. Meanwhile, my wife grew bolder. She wore new dresses. She argued with me for the first time in years. Sharp, rehearsed conflicts, the kind used to justify someone else's arms later. I listened, apologized, played small. At night, I requested DNA tests for a child we had lost to miscarriage 3 years ago. Not because I doubted paternity, But because I needed to be certain, there was nothing left tying me to a lie. The results came back negative. Not mine. The timing of the affair lined up perfectly. I chose the delivery method myself. A dinner, extended family, the very stage they loved humiliating me on. While the servants served dessert, I placed a thin folder beside my wife's plate. She opened it first. Her smile collapsed in slow motion. The DNA report. The account transfers. The ownership registry update from last week, reversed. Her father leaned forward, squinted. "What's this?" I didn't look at him. "I reconciled the records," I said softly. "Fully." My wife's hands trembled now, not from fear, from recognition. She knew what "fully" meant. The old man scanned the paper. His jaw stiffened. "This is nonsense," he barked. "You don't control these structures." I finally met his eyes. "I built them." Silence swelled outward from the table like a held breath that never intended to be released. My wife stood up. "You said he was nothing," she whispered to him, broken. "You said he didn't matter." He didn't answer. He couldn't. Because for the first time in his life, he was the one without leverage. I rose. My chair did not scrape. I didn't take anything with me when I left. Not the house, not the cars, not even my name in their world. Those things had never belonged to me anyway. Outside, the city felt different. Not brighter, sharper. Behind me, a dynasty folded inward without sound. No sirens, no flames. Just silence choking the air where arrogance used to breathe. I did not feel triumph, only release. The lie had finally collapsed under its own weight, and I had stepped clear before it could bury me. They would survive. They always do. But they would never be powerful again. And me? I walked into the night unclaimed, unowned, and finally, untouched.